What's up, engineers? IndyDevDan here. Today isn't just another agentic coding video. Let's get ahead of the curve with a plan of our own, because those who plan the future tend to create it. Every plan is a bet on the future. Every bet has risks and rewards. The trick isn't execution. It's choosing the right bets in the first place. Today, I want to share 5 big bets I'm personally making for 2026 to stay ahead of the curve. These bets point to where I'm putting my agents, my time, my money, and my compute. Some of these bets you're going to expect, others will surprise you. Take my plan for 2026 and use it as a framework for your own roadmap. Midway through, I'm going to reveal a major announcement that ties it all together. I'm so excited to finally announce this, to finally release this. It's built for engineers who know the future of engineering is agent first. Let's create the future with our plan for engineering in 2026. My first big bet is an easy one to make. The ROI is clear and massively untapped. Agents, but not just any agents. We're talking about custom agents. If you're working with just a single agent through an agentic coding tool like Claude Code or the Codex CLI, you're ahead of the majority of engineers. The 80-20 of software engineering can be summarized in one word: agents. But if you're using custom agents in your production systems, I estimate you're immediately in the top 1% of engineers. Why is that? Why does that shoot you up so far? It's because custom agents let you do scaled, nasty, and I mean nasty in the literal sense, domain-specific engineering work in fractions of the time and complexity that it used to take. When you encode solutions into custom agents, you get repeatable problem solving with compute. So what are the risks here? Every plan has bets. Every bet has risks and rewards. Building effective agents, shout out Anthropic, takes time and practice, okay? The learning curve here is steep, and the over-reliance on AI is only going to increase, okay? I don't know about you, but I have constantly increased my reliance on agents, on agentic coding tools, on language models. This is how technology works. It gives and it takes. What are the rewards here? I think easily this puts you in the top 1% of engineering output. If you have custom agents deployed into production, you are going to outperform the rest of the pack, okay? This is the defining competitive advantage in 2026, which is why I'm betting big on custom agents. I built hundreds of crappy custom agents, and guess what? In 2026, I'll be building great custom agents and sharing the journey. Make sure to like and subscribe if you're not already a part of the agentic journey. Sometimes moving forward means leaving a few things behind. We have to deprecate our old engineering skills in 2026. Okay, here's a helpful symbolic visual you can use, all right? Think of a pencil, and bear with me here, all right? This is the perfectly balanced tool for builders. You have creation at one end, and you have deletion at the other. You're constantly drafting new skills and erasing what no longer serves you. Over time, though, both ends wear out, and you need to refresh and pick up a new tool. You need to pick up a new pencil. The pencil reminds us that growth isn't just about writing the next line, but also knowing when to erase and start again, okay? There are things you're doing right now that you could absolutely have your agent do for you. The big kicker here in the age of agents is that it's not about what you can do anymore. So many engineers get this wrong. It's not about you anymore. It's not about your skills. It's about what you can teach your agents to do. This is a big differentiating factor we talk about in TAC. More on that in just a moment. We must deprecate the old ways of engineering to make time, space, and energy for the new ones. Now, of course, the risks here are very obvious. We have to break old multi-year, multi-decade habits. This is going to be uncomfortable, and we're not going to have potential skill atrophy. We have guaranteed skill atrophy, okay? Think about the calculator. Think about Google Maps. Think about any piece of technology that you use that has deprecated your ability to do the thing the technology now does. This is guaranteed. In 2026, we are deprecating our old skills. We are letting go of the old ways so that we can introduce the new ways, okay? The productivity, the gains, the future-proofing of your career, right? the future proofing of your engineering career is going to be massive when you just let go and stop doing things the old way. I know for a fact you might be one of these engineers, okay? You know that agents could do the work that you're about to do, but you still do it the old way. You still type line by line, you still copy paste, you still, write a prompt that you could automate in a reusable agentic workflow. You know you're doing things the slow way because it's how you've always done them. Let's let go. We have to deprecate the old skills to make space and time for the new ones. If you're building valuable work with agents, you've likely run into the two constraints of agentic coding. My third bet is to go big on limit breaking the agentic coding constraints. What are the constraints? You know what they are: planning and reviewing. We can now build new plans and hand it off to our agents at higher rates than ever. But us in the planning process is what takes time. And then, of course, at the end of the loop, when our agent has finished all the work, what else takes the most time for us? Reviewing. These are the constraints of agentic coding. And in 2026, we're going to blast through these. We're going to limit break the agentic coding constraints. And of course, the big answer here I'm betting big on is custom agents, all right? But not just custom agents, right? It's custom agents inside of ADWs, right? A pipeline of agents that combines the old world of engineering with the new world of agents, okay? This is the most powerful abstraction that exists for engineers right now, the ADW. More on that in a moment, all right? In 2026, my plan is to break through these constraints to unlock insane scales. Now, this is going to be hard. None of these bets just show up on your doorstep. This is going to take effort from both you and I. The implementation here is complex. That upfront investment is going to cost. This is where we lose all the vibe coders, right? You have to have a deep understanding of your code base to really increase your planning and your reviewing velocity. You cannot teach something to do something that you do not know how to do. Okay, this is just reality. If you want to push agents to their limits, you must know what you're trying to teach them to do, right? And of course, the rewards here are huge. I estimate there's a 1 to 2 order of magnitude improvement lying at the other end, lying at the end of the cave, if we can limit break the planning and reviewing constraints of agentic coding. I said this back in 2023, 24, and it's still true now. The chat interface is the laziest and most overused interface for agents, okay? In 2026, I'm investing a ton of time into multi-agent UIs and IIs, interaction interfaces, okay? Specifically, we're talking about voice. The whole point here is to increase the information rate between you and your agents, okay? You want to be getting more work done faster, commanding more compute with multi-agent UIs and faster interaction interfaces, right? Specifically, again, voice. This lets us wield more compute faster than ever. If you could communicate everything in your head right now to a multi-agent system that can do the work for you, wouldn't that be amazing, right? Wouldn't that quite literally change your future, okay? These systems are right around the corner. You and I can build these right now. What are the trade-offs here, right? I think this is going to be hard, okay? I have an idea of what, several versions of this look like. Previous couple weeks video, we've been talking about and pushing into custom agent UIs. I'm mostly concerned here about user confusion, right? What are users and customers going to think about this? Because putting multiple agents into a single UI and orchestrating all that feedback, all that logging, all the important bits of information is challenging. This is a complex UI UX design challenge as well. All the designers out there who tune in, all the builder designers, it's your time to shine, all right? So of course, the benefits here are, of course, massive. I mean, there's a reason I'm betting on these things, right? Between all these bets, we're gonna see probably another order of magnitude increase in engineering output with the right multi-agent system, okay? And to be clear, I'm talking about use case specific multi-agent systems, multi-agent UIs. I'm not talking about another, Claude Code wrapper. I'm not talking about another background task manager for your agent CLIs. I'm talking about your product getting the UI to have many agents operate on it and get more work done faster than ever, okay? Everyone's going way too wide. It's time to focus. It's time to go deep. It's time to solve real engineering problems with this incredible technology. Final big bet, we are going to max out our compute. We are going to be compute maxing. Let me tell you a secret. However much compute you think you're using, however great you think you are at agentic coding, you're not using that much compute and you're not that great. Okay. I know that sounds a little intense, a little aggressive, but what makes me say that? It's because unless you have an always on 24/7 agent solving problems for you on your behalf all the time, you can and should be using more compute. Okay. Compute maxing will be a major focus of mine in 2026. And I highly recommend it for you as well. Always be thinking, how can I use more compute? And the answer isn't you jump from prompting back and forth with Claude Code to all of a sudden you build a 24-hour, 7 days a week agent. That's not how this works. Okay. We're engineers. We operate in the gray and the messy and the progression of it all. We always want to be thinking, how can I use more compute today? And I think about this all the time. I am no exception here. As much compute as I use, I know for a fact it's not nearly as much as I know it can be. Think about all the developer workflows you have. Think about all the products, tools, and applications that are untouched by valuable language models, prompt chains, all the way up to agents. There's so much potential and we're here to unlock it. In 2026, I'm going to build my first always on custom agent. And I'm going to share the journey with you right here on the channel. There are big risks here though, right? Very obviously, this is going to cost us quite a bit. Okay. But we're betting on the fact we also have a side bet that, the cost of compute will continue to decline and we'll continue to get great open source, low cost, high intelligent models like the huge Quinn series that was just released, right? These are groundbreaking models that are getting smaller and better that we're going to be able to operate on with. Okay. But still, operating 24/7, doing real engineering work, this is going to cost. There's going to be architecture and infrastructure complexity, and we're probably going to end up wasting a lot of compute to get there, right? But this is how it works, okay? You need to put the reps in to even know what's possible. And this is a big idea we talk about in the advanced lessons in TAC. Almost there. We're almost at the reveal. Give me one more second here. Of course, the reward here is absolutely massive. If you're compute maxing, you have living software that works for you while you sleep. And by the way, this has been the mission for this channel. I know a lot of recent subscribers, you think we just come on here and we talk about the latest Claude Code release, but we focus on it because it's the best tool for the job, because it helps us move closer to the mission of the IndyDevDan channel. Build living software that works for us while we sleep. Okay. And this gets us closer to that goal. I finally have an architecture that I think can provide some solid value. I'm going to be building this out in 2026 and sharing the journey. This is true agentic automation and true exponential leverage, right? Imagine this thing always on. And by the way, we just had that release coming out from OpenAI with their new ChatGPT Pulse. The subline here is great. Now ChatGPT can start the conversation. On the channel, there's a video we put out a long time ago now, but it was called the two-way prompt. And it was a prediction. It was kind of a bet that at some point, these systems will become so powerful that they will start prompting us. And so it's interesting to see ChatGPT Pulse kind of moving down that direction, kind of a combination of a scheduling system, but also ChatGPT is learning more and more about you and I so it can solve your problems and ask you for the next step, right? But this is that same idea, right? OpenAI is pushing toward compute maxing. That's what this is, right? If you have an always on system building for you in the background 24/7, you are going to outperform in a massive, massive way. At some point, the conversation will flip and our agents will prompt us more than we prompt them. In 2026, we will be compute maxing. Okay, so 5 big bets, and it all leads up to something incredible. So we have custom agents, deprecating old skills. We're letting go of the past so we can accept the future, limit break the agentic coding constraints. We want to increase our planning and our review velocity to unlock the next order of magnitude improvement. We're talking about multi-agent user interfaces and interaction interfaces. This is a big bet I'm already making right now. And of course, compute maxing. To scale your impact, you scale your compute. Okay, this is the equation to win for engineering. In 2025 and beyond, the agent architecture has changed everything. And that leads us to a massive opportunity that I'm beyond excited to share with you right now. It's finally here. I'm actively investing in all these bets, and I have some results already that I want to share with you. Let's take our bets and put them into raw day-to-day actions, raw tactics that we can use on a daily basis. Allow me to introduce Tactical Agentic Coding. Here, you can master the tactics of agentic coding to scale far beyond AI coding and vibe coding with advanced engineering so powerful that your code base runs itself. This is the phase 2 agentic coding course built for engineers in the AI age. I've been working 996 around the clock to get this ready and to get this shipped, to get this in a great state for you, for engineers that know that the future is agentic. The future is agent first. And by the way, if you don't like being sold things, or if you think I'm an AI grifter, or whatever the case is, it's time for you to tune out. Okay, so what is tactical agentic coding? This is for engineers that ship. And we're taking things further. We know for a fact that AI coding is not enough. And there are a bunch of big ideas that engineers are missing right now that you can get ahead of with tactical agentic coding, okay? AI coding was just the beginning. Vibe coding is the lowest hanging fruit, and 95, probably 99% of all code bases are now outdated and inefficient. Important, time to focus. You, the engineer, are the bottleneck, not the models, not the tools, not the agents. That post about what the best agentic coding tool is, what the best model is, the best pricing, all of that is irrelevant. Everyone is missing the big picture. We are the bottlenecks now. It's a skill issue. There is a new engineering role that has emerged. I've been waiting for this. I've been betting on this, and it's finally here. You and I can now become agentic engineers. This isn't about models, prompts, or agents. It's about composing the old world of software engineering with the new world of agents to achieve exponential scales of engineering. Allow me to just pitch this. It might get a little salesy, but the key ideas here are too important to just drive by, okay? In tactical agentic coding, we're going to transition into this new role of engineering. You'll think hard to step out the loop, and we're going to ask one simple guiding question throughout this course. What if your code base could ship itself? This is not for beginners. If you're not shipping to production, if you're not a mid to senior level engineer, if you're not shipping with agentic coding tools, this is not for you, okay? So what are you going to learn here? My mission is to transform you into an engineer they can't replace. How are we going to do that? It's a crazy goal, right? That sounds wild. They can't replace. We do this with two concrete actions. Just like with our big bets, right? I've already started placing these bets and putting them into action. These bets are already inside tactical agentic coding. We're going to do two things: let go of the old ways of engineering and master the new best tool for the job. By internalizing the 8 tactics of agentic coding, you're going to become an engineer that builds the system that builds the system. It's not about what we can do anymore. It's about what we can teach our agents to do. We are building the system that builds the system. There will be an engineer on your team, hopefully it's you, that will be orchestrating fleets of agents inside the agentic system that handles all the application work you're wasting your time doing, okay? This is just the reality, okay? Forgive me for being a little harsh here, but I always try to show up here every Monday to deliver concrete, raw, engineering truths and realities, and this is one of them, okay? And you've seen some of this. If you're using agents, you know this. If you're still watching this video, you know this is true. Agents are how you win the game of engineering in 2025 and beyond. So there's more information here. Check this out. But the structure here is a little bit different. Okay, so I could not fit everything I needed to in tactical agentic coding. So I created Agentic Horizon. These are extended lessons you can upgrade to if you're interested. The key lessons, the key ideas are in tactical agentic coding. But if you want more, and if you want some extra bonuses, check out Agentic Horizon, okay? Here you'll get 3 lessons right now that we've been teasing over the past 3 weeks, and you'll get 3 future lessons that you get to vote on. This is a new voting mechanism. You get to vote on exactly what you want to see next, okay? Tactical agentic coding follows a similar formula. If you've taken Principal AI Coding, you're familiar with this. We have 8 lessons and 8 tactics. Okay, we're going from beginner to intermediate to advanced. All right. Now, if the course is a good fit for you, lesson 1 is going to feel like a bit of a waste of time. It's going to feel a little bit slow, but lesson 1 is critically important. This is where we set the stage for everything else. If you build the fundamentals right, if you build that groundwork right, everything else falls into place. We only have 2 beginner lessons here. Things move up very quickly to the intermediate level. We talk about turning your prompts into plans and your plans into something brand new, a next generation agentic prompting technique you can use. We talk about that in lesson 3, and then things go bananas from there, okay? AFK agents, close the loops, right? Scale your compute to get more confidence, build self-correcting systems, destroy those bugs, destroy those hallucinations, and then things go parabolic in the advanced lessons. Let your agent focus. We have agentic review and documentation. We have a big secret reveal in lesson 7, and then the one big idea to rule them all, the agentic layer. So that's the lesson structure. And then, of course, as mentioned, you have the Agentic Horizon extended lessons. If you're interested, this is an additional upgrade you can buy if you want to push it even further. All right, so we're back for phase 2. And I just want to say, I want to stop for a moment. None of this is possible without the, kind words and the involvement and the participation of you, the engineer, and thousands, literally hundreds of thousands of other engineers now who have watched, who have shared their kind words. We've come a long way since the GPT 3.5 and 8 days, but here we are. And now it's time to take it to the next step. So, a bunch of kind words here from everyone. Big shout out to you guys. And then we have the final pricing. It's super important to touch on this. I have 2 deals running right now. Of course, I always like to do an early bird special. And then if you're a Principal AI Coding member, this cuts the price in half. If you're not a Principal AI Coding member, don't worry, you still get the early bird special. By the time you're seeing this, you'll probably have 16 days here and maybe 30 here, I'm not sure. So take advantage of this. This is not a marketing trick or anything. I just want to reward engineers who move fast and invest in themselves. All right. There are tons of bonuses in here. Feel free to check this out step by step. If you're an individual, you can purchase Agentic Horizon after you buy Tactical Agentic Coding. I'll show you what that looks like in just a second. And if you're purchasing for a team, you can click team right here and add as many seats as you need. As you add seats, you're going to see your discount go up. Since we don't have an early bird or a pack discount for team purchases, we are applying that discount to Agentic Horizon extended lessons. You get a major discount on both of these lesson sets. If you're interested, you can scale this up and up level your engineering org. So there's a ton of value in here. If you're not sure if this is for you, check the FAQ, watch this to qualify. This is for mid to senior level engineers that know agents are the future of engineering. Okay, this is going to be hard. This is not a simple course. We cover advanced topics. You need to know about agents. You need to know about the big 3, context model, prompt. And, by the way, just to mention this is completely risk-free. We have a no questions asked 30-day refund before you start lesson 4. So if you get to lesson 3 and you don't like my style, you don't like the ideas, you don't like the vision, no problem. No hard feelings. I'll get you a full refund before you start lesson 4, before you upgrade to Agentic Horizon. You get everything back. Okay. I want the right engineers in this course. If that's not you, no problem at all. So this makes it completely risk-free. You can just jump in here and get started. Okay. If you're a pack member, be sure to sign into the right account before you purchase. Once you click Master Agentic Coding, you'll be taken to the landing page of the course, and it looks just like this. You'll have premium access to Tactical Agentic Coding, where we start with the first 2 lessons. Every next lesson unlocks when you complete 50% of the previous lesson. And if you scroll down here, you can see Agentic Horizon. Here, I have it unlocked. I can vote on the next lessons, and I can freely watch any one of these lessons as I choose. All right. So this is what the lesson page looks like. And this is all here waiting for you. This is Tactical Agentic Coding. All right. Now, super long pitch. I know there are a lot of engineers that have been waiting for this, so I just want to be really thorough with the announcement here. I want to say huge thank you to all the engineers that have been excited and patient for this release. This course is the result of feedback from hundreds of engineers. It's a massive edge you have the opportunity to gain right now. Okay. This is for engineers that ship. We are not vibe coding here. AI coding is not enough. We're not prompting and not looking. We're going deep, and we're using this technology to extend what we can do as engineers. The whole purpose here, again, my goal here is to turn you into an engineer they can't replace. So huge edge, get in here ASAP, take advantage of the early bird and pack deal. They will expire. I want to reward engineers who move fast and invest in themselves. These deals will expire and the price will go up to the full price. By the way, if you're looking at this price, right, without pack membership or without the early bird, and you think it's a shocking price, it probably means it's not for you, okay? This is for mid to senior level engineers shipping to production, and they know that agents are what's next, and they want to win. Get in here, get your next generation perspective on how to build better and faster with agents. No matter what you do, focus on your plan for the future. Even if you aren't interested in TAC, make sure you have a plan for yourself for the future, all right? I'm betting on custom agents. I'm letting go of old skills. I'm limit breaking the review and the planning constraints of agentic coding. And then we're gonna dive hard and fast into multi-agent UIs to use more compute than ever. And then of course, it all kind of sums up to compute maxing. Whatever you're doing right now, however much compute you're using, you're not using enough. I have a huge prediction in 2026. We're going to see our first compute crunch. We will have a limited supply of compute. We're already starting to see signs of that, all right? But as you and I, the engineers kind of on the bleeding edge, as we start scaling up our compute more and more, this will become a larger and larger problem. The more compute you can use, the more you realize you can do, which leads you to using more compute. So this is my plan for 2026. You now have a massive opportunity available to you. Check out Tactical Agentic Coding. We're going to be breaking this down and touching on this in the future on the channel. No matter what you do here, stay focused and keep building.